Hello, welcome to Piano with Des. In this episode, I'm going to show you how to play Part 2 of Für Elise by Ludwig van Beethoven. Für Elise is written in a musical form called a rondo. How a rondo works, it begins with a main theme, also known as a refrain. For Für Elise, this refrain sounds like this. After the refrain comes a contrasting section. Then, after this contrasting section, also known as an episode, the refrain comes back. And that's how a rondo works. It goes refrain, then a contrasting section, also known as an episode, then refrain, then another episode, and refrain. And that's the whole form of Für Elise. This video is going to focus on that first contrasting section or episode. For those of you who would like to follow along, I've made a free PDF that you can download from our website. I'll leave the link below in the description. Please consider subscribing and hitting that like button. It really helps the channel. I'm going to play just the very end of the refrain so you can hear how it smoothly transitions into the contrasting section. So you can hear how it then went back into the refrain or back to section A. How he accomplishes going into the contrasting section. We have that ending of the refrain where we do. Normally you would just expect, just to end like that. But what he does, he starts from these are A's, and you go little arpeggio, A arpeggio, and then we go to this B flat, and I want to just take a second with this B flat. This is a special key. This signals, this B flat, a change of key center. Section A, or the refrain, is in the key of A minor. So the key center is A, and minor just has a little darker quality to it. This transition into the contrasting section, it's almost like the sun comes out. We transition to what's called F major. F major has that special B flat in it. And with that B flat, look at your score. This is measure 31. We have the B flat, and then we walk down A, G, and that little walk down leads us to F. And there's our F major. Let's just focus on the left hand. The left hand is going to play a lot of chords, but they're broken up chords. Measure 32 has a nice broken up F chord. What we're used to hearing with chords is like this. This is called a blocked chord, where we play all three notes at once. What Beethoven's doing, he's playing the bottom note first of F, then the middle note, top note, and then we just kind of go back and forth between the top and the middle note. Just go bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle. Next measure, measure 33. It's the same shape, bottom, middle, top. Oh, but the top, we just have to stretch our thumb a little bit to that D as in dog. It's that same shape, bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle. Measure 34. This looks a little scary, but don't be too scared. Our pinky is already there on F, and our 2 is already there on that B flat. Keep those fingers there. Stretch our thumb up from D as in dog to that E. What tells me to do that, there's 2 ledger lines on that note. The first ledger line is middle C, that second ledger line pulls us up to that E as an elephant. Follow those finger numbers that I've printed. You go your pinky 5, 1 is your thumb. For that 3-note chord, I know it looks scary, but it's not. It's just your pinky and 2, it's already there. And you're just adding your 4th finger, like that. You just try to make sure all 3 notes sound at the same time. We'll just call that the middle. Let's try that. We have bottom, top, middle, top, middle, top. The pattern changes a little bit, bottom to top instead of bottom, middle. It's just for that one special 3-note chord. And then we're back in measure 35 to our 1 chord, F, A, C, or bottom, middle, top, middle, top, middle. And then next measure, 36, same chord, bottom, middle, top, middle. 37, pinky now gets to stretch down from F to E as an elephant. My 3rd finger stays on A, and my thumb stays on C. So it's just the pinky that stretches down for that. So let's try that at 37. We have E, A, C, A. And now here, a little special thumb stretches to D as in dog. Notice it has that C ledger line, but it's sitting on top. That's what tells me to play the D. Pinky goes back to F. Let's try 37 one more time. 5 on E, A, C, A, stretch up to D as in dog. Then pinky returns to F. Excellent. Measure 38. We have G with our 4th finger. Thumb on E. Then you do it again. G, E, G. One more stretch all the way up to F. I'm going to pull my hand up. You see that? And then my 2 is going to arrive on that E. Let's try measure 38 again. So we have 4th finger on G. Thumb on E as an elephant. G, E, G, G, stretch, F, and then pull your hand up, arrive on that E. There's your half note, so we just hold that. Next little symbol, that's called a quarter rest. Slide down, and now 2 will arrive on F. That's our special bass clef or F line. Then we just have a nice walk down, so we go F, E, D, C, 2. Then we go to F. That line connecting the quarter note Fs, that's called a tie. So it does what it sounds like. It ties those Fs together. So you don't have to go F, F. You're just going to hold them for the value of both quarters. So it just translates to a half note. Back to measure 41. We'll start from that low C half note. That gets 2 beats. C2, F2, G2, C2. Rest. Measure 44. F, E, D, C2. F2 because of the tie. G2. Now here, special note. This is called A flat. And notice what I get to do to play that A flat. My 2 that's on F gets to cross over my thumb because my thumb is on G. And that's what I do to play that A flat. And that's a very, very special note because as you notice, the left hand doesn't do anything after that. The right hand takes over. That's our transition note that goes back into the refrain. Let's put the whole left hand together now. Measure 31. This is the transition into the B section. This is where we start on that low A. Rest. 2, 2, 2, 2, rest. 2, 2, 2, crossover. 2, beautiful A flat. Let's do the right hand. Begin just right on measure 31, like how we did with the left hand. Find that A with our third finger. The A that I want you to find will be right above middle C. Here's middle C, and you'll just go all the way up to A. To find it, you can go C, D, E, F, G, A. Put your third finger on it. Now the little symbol after is called an eighth rest. So you just rest for half a beat. You're gonna put your thumb on E, and then you're gonna walk up. So we go E, F, G, A. In the score, I have it written where it says 4-1, because when you arrive on that A, you're gonna arrive with your fourth finger, and as you're holding it down, you're gonna switch to your thumb. Let me show that again. So we start on the beginning of the transition, we start with third finger on A, then you have that eighth rest, 1 on E, 2 on F, 3 on G, now fourth finger's on A, and you're just gonna switch to your thumb. We're gonna stretch our third finger up to high F. There's that high F, and then 2 on E. Next measure, 33. Another E, but quarter note, thumb on D. And a little stretch up to our special B flat because we're in the key of F major. Remember that B flat? So there's a really high B flat with our fourth finger. We're gonna go B flat, A. Now we repeat the A in the next measure, A, G, F. Little scale down. The next note is E. We cross over with our third finger. That's why it says 3 there. Let's try that again from the A in measure 34. So 3, 2, 1, cross over your thumb. And we do 3, 2, 1, E, D, C. Next measure, B flat, but now it's the lower B flat. And notice it says 2, so I get to cross over my thumb again. It's a lot of crossovers. So B flat, A, B flat. Friendly reminder, that still is a B flat because it's in the same measure, so flats are good for the whole measure. Let's try that one more time. Let's see, this is measure 35. So we have quarter note B flat, A, B flat. Next measure, we cross under our second finger to put our thumb on C. We hold that for 2 beats. D, E. This is measure 37 now. Fourth finger's already there on F, then a little stretch to A. And next measure, C. And then we have D, B. This is measure 39, where you see MP. That stands for mezzo piano. 2 is on C, so let's try that. C. And then that's a little stretch, pinky on G. So we go C, G, and then stretch your thumb down to G. And now pinky just stays on G. Our thumb gets to dance a little bit. Try that again. 2 on C, G, thumb on G, G, then thumb moves to A, then B, C, then 2 is already there on D as in dog, 1 more G. Those are measures 39 and 40. And it's called a pedal point with our pinky repeating that same high G over and over again. Try that one more time just to get those inner voices. 2 on C as in cat. There's our pedal G. Thumb on lower G, then it moves to A, B, C, then 2 is already there on D as in dog. 41, thumb moves to E as in elephant, little stretch to the G, and then our pinky is on that high C. Notice high C has 2 ledger lines. And now we have a little scale down. From that high C, we go to B, A, G, F, crossover. Put your third finger on that E, D, and then 5 on G, F, D. Measure 43, it looks very similar because it's the same as 39 and 40. The only difference is that we're gonna start from our thumb on that C instead of 2. C, G, 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 A, B, C, 2 on D, and then our thumb moves to that E, little stretch to the G, and then high C, scale down, B, A, G, F, crossover, E, D, G, F, D. Measure 47, we have 3 on E, F, E, D sharp, E, B, and then we're there. This is measure 49. Notice there's a dot after that quarter. It just means to hold it a little longer. From that dotted quarter, E, B, E, D sharp, E, B. Now here, measure 50, you notice there's a 5 printed on that E right before the D sharp, because that sets us up to go back into section A, or the refrain. Here, I know there's a lot of E, D sharps, E, D sharps. To keep track of where you're at, just count to 6 in terms of how many times you play that high E. That B right before it. There's the first E. This is measure 50. So we have E, E, E. There's 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we finally go. And now we're back to the refrain, or section A. Yay. All right, now that we did hands separate, let's put hands together. Let's begin measure 31. I have my pinky there in the left hand on the A, my third finger on that A in the right. 1, 2, 3. Refrain. It's so hard to stop, but I'll stop here. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to learn the B section of Für Elise. I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Happy practicing!